Goeienaand allemaal. Good evening everyone. Molweni. Sabona. How's it? Sal ek Afrikaans oppraat? Afrikaans. Waar ons mekaar groet en sê awe. Dit is vir my 'n wonderlike voorreg om by hierdie geleentheid, die eerste in sy soort, te kan optree.
Actually, this is a very, very momentous evening. As you all know, you've received nice emails explaining that you must come to this great event. And what the event is basically about is to get people excited about being part of the university's alumni. Now, our committee, which we actually refer to ourselves as the alumni graduates from 2000 to 2010, for the past 10 years, we are the younger generation of the alumni. And usually when people think of the alumni, they have this idea of these old men, and maybe old ladies also, sitting in a room and being all serious. And actually the alumni is all of you graduates and those that are coming at the end of this year as well, all form part of this alumni organization. We of course aim to get people connected and also help you broaden your connection in the broader community, depending on in which area you are interested in. So we actually are here to help you broaden your network with your university and also out there.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Het is 'n voorreg om vanaand hier te wees en een van die volunteers vir die ons afkorting vir die naam Oacs, Our Alumni Kring Stellenbosch. Dis regtig 'n voorreg om hier te wees en om deel te neem en om die alumni span te ondersteun. Die rede hoekom ek myself beskikbaar gemaak het om 'n bietjie volunteerwerk te doen is ook omdat ek kom uit 'n geskiedenis van waar ek geleer was dat as jy kan dan maak jy 'n verskil en dit was die rol wat ek ook gespeel het in my studente en in my professionele lewe. En ek dink ons het nog baie uitdagings in Suid-Afrika en as 'n alumnus wat baie gekry het van die Universiteit van Stellenbosch, dink ek dit is eenvoudig reg dat ek 'n bietjie terugploeg wat ek gekry het en dit is hoekom ek vanaand hier staan. Soos Ilse gesê het, hierdie Oacs het ook 'n sekere missie, ons het 'n bepaalde doelstelling en ek gaan dit net vinnig vir julle lees. Dit is in Engels, maar ek het mos nou 'n bietjie Afrikaans gepraat. The mission of Oacs is to connect Stellenbosch University's graduates of the last 10 years, 2000 to 2010, with the mission, work and community of the university in order to promote continued alumni engagement and increase alumni participation in the annual giving program. The goal is to engage recent graduates as ambassadors through a volunteer program that encourages participation in alumni events, annual giving, and donor care. Then there is also a short job description in terms of what the Oacs Committee envisages to do, and that is to serve as an ambassador of the university by attending various university events in the region where you are, to be an advocate to promote philanthropy in Stellenbosch University community, to host an event in your region. Dis baie van ons hier vanaand, waar julle ook al is, as julle een of ander funksie sal optree as gasheer of gasvrou, sal ons dit ook baie waardeer. En dan ook engage and collaborate with partners, waar dit nou natuurlik van toepassing is, to enhance relationships with the alumni by gathering who's on the move information for Maatiland magazine, the web portal, and proactively communicate with alumni through the online channels like Facebook and Twitter. To expand and personalize Stellenbosch University donor care and cultivation efforts in order to increase participation in the annual giving program and to help make alumni donors feel appreciated and acknowledge.
In Gary Hamel's book, Leading the Revolution, I've just typed out a quote there which I think speaks to the point. In an increasingly non-linear world, the fundamental challenge companies face is reinventing themselves and their industries, not just in times of crisis, but continually, and harnessing the imagination and passion of every employee. He says that strategy should enable, in each of us, passion, ambition, creativity, serendipity. So the companies that recognize this are trying to enable an environment where we can be these individuals, where you can exercise your brand me, where you're allowed to be brilliant, be the talent, be empowered, be passionate, be creative. These leading employers are recognizing that these are the people they want in their organizations. These are the ones that are going to rise to the top. These are the kinds of employers who will be looking for the talented students in the interviews that are coming up for those of you in your final years. Gary Hamel goes on to say that in his research, the most successful companies weren't obsessed with their competitors. Instead, they were following the pole star of some truly noble aspiration. What counted was not so much how they positioned themselves against long-standing rivals, but how creatively they used their core competencies to create entirely new markets. So here we see the theme of creativity coming through again in the company strategy. Not only are they looking for individuals who are creative, but they're expecting of themselves to be creative in addressing all the challenges in the market. And I've put a little footnote there. When I've spoken to people before, my team and other teams when I've given this presentation, one can also translate a lot of this philosophy into team dynamics. You needn't look at necessarily the whole company. That can be sometimes a bit daunting and quite large. But a lot of these metrics work equally well for teams you might belong to. Creative teams are the ones that are going to do quite well at overcoming hurdles and obstacles. So thinking a little bit more about creativity, I wondered whether you might be interested in learning how to be creative in 30 seconds. Creativity is nothing other than doing something that is different, doing something that is not you, and surprising yourself. So the habit you can build up to develop creativity is just to do one small thing differently, but to do it all the time. So every day you challenge yourself to do one tiny little thing differently. It's about moving out of your own box, developing your muscle for surprise, listening to impulse. And these needn't be necessarily extravagant things. You could just decide not to watch TV tonight if you are someone that watches TV every night. Or you could, instead of eating a little bit of everything on your plate, you could eat all your vegetables first. Or you could drive a new route to work or speak to somebody who's always intimidated you a little bit. Really just develop that muscle for surprise. So all you need to do to be creative is to ask yourself every now and again, what is it that is not me, not typically me now, and then to do it. It can be a bit terrifying, but can also be quite liberating and energizing.
Sorry, I just want to, it's not really a question, but maybe just more of a comment on two of the points. Just sort of how you help to market yourself and also just about getting frustrated on your waiting for your first job. Just a few things that come to mind. I mean, studying at Stellenbosch already sets you ahead of the rest of the herd. If you think about it, there can only be so many people that are top of the class. There can only be so many people that get to do honours. I think majority of us finish with a degree and off we go into the job market. But that puts us at the top couple of % of all the graduates in South Africa. So don't get yourself down. You are on the top of the country. If you look at the standard that Stellenbosch is, I mean, I think we can be biased here. We're all alumni. We all went to Stellenbosch. So we can say that, geez, we're at least in the top 3 universities in the country. And if you look at the amount of people that applied to Stellenbosch, I don't know the statistics, maybe the Dean of Students can tell us, the amount of people that applied to Stellenbosch, the amount of people that were turned away, and if you were accepted in the first place and you graduated from Stellenbosch, it might not be with an honours degree, you might not have graduated top of your class, but you're certainly in the top percentage of the country. So use it in your interview. I'm not necessarily saying put it into your CV, but certainly use it in an interview. Subtly lean towards that, saying, "Look, that's what sets me apart from everybody else." Just a hint. And guys, don't get yourselves down. You know, you can wait a long time, but just bear that in mind. You're in the top percentage of the country. Okay, thank you.